y'all, hey, and welcome to Drawing Conclusions with me, Christina B. I know I've been gone for a while, and I hope you've missed me because I've definitely and most certainly missed you. Um, I've been wanting to come back for a while just to start back doing my videos, but I came back today in lieu of a story that I heard about. So this is very spur of the moment, and we're not going to do our usual murder mystery with a masterpiece segment because I'm ill prepared. I do not have any canvases. So we won't be painting the picture today. I'm just going to tell you the story really quickly, and then just my thoughts on it. Just giving the story just for some awareness. So yeah, we're going to jump right into it. So our story today comes out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And as y'all know, I am from North Carolina. Fayetteville is about an hour, maybe an hour and a half away from where I currently live. North Carolina, all in all, is a small state. Nothing is but so far away. So it kind of hits a little harder for me, or it's a little closer to home for me because it's literally close to home. My brother actually works in Fayetteville, though he doesn't live there. He does currently work in Fayetteville. So 37-year-old Jason Walker was killed on Saturday by an off-duty deputy sheriff, Jerry Hash. Hash has, of course, been placed on paid administrative leave pending the results of an internal investigation. Hash has been with the sheriff's office since 2005. So he's been a sheriff or a sheriff deputy, for a pretty good amount of time. A video is circulating online, and I did see the video. I'm not going to link the video because I don't like videos of people who have passed away online. It's very unsettling to me. But some of you guys may have already seen it. As far as I know, it hasn't yet been taken down. But this video is circulating, and it shows the aftermath of the incident. So it doesn't show, Jason being hit by the car or shot, but it shows the moments directly following that incident. So when the video starts, Hash is seen standing in the doorway of his truck. He's driving a red F-150, I believe, and the driver's side door is open. He's standing there in the opening of the doorway, and he's talking on the phone. He's on the phone at the start of the video with 911. And you can see off to his right side, on the right side of the video, laying on the ground near the wheels of the truck, is Jason Williams. And he's laying in the street in what I would describe as an awkward position. The way his body was laid, to me, was like a natural, it didn't appear natural to me personally. So it shows him laying there in an awkward position, and two people come into the screen, and they're like trying to help him. I believe they're two ladies, but I'm not definitely sure because they're wearing masks and whatnot. They were kind of moving quickly, but there are two people that are actively trying to help him, and then there's several other people seen just within the vicinity of what happened. Onlookers, witnesses, what have you. In the 911 call placed by Hash, he tells the dispatcher that a man ran towards his car. Quote, "So I stopped so I wouldn't hit him, and he jumped on my car and started screaming. Pulled my windshield wipers off and started beating the windshield and broke my windshield." Unquote. Hash is noted as using the word hostile more than once while speaking with the dispatcher. And it was seen on the video that one of the times that he used the word hostile, there was an onlooker that told him not to use that word. When the police arrived on the scene, a man who was the same man I just mentioned told him not to use the word hostile. He speaks with one of the police officers, and he tells them that Jason has been shot and that this is a quote-unquote murder scene. He also states that he did not see what happened, he just heard it. Quote, "I heard 4 gunshots and came outside." You can see that Jason, during this time, is bleeding from the head, and the blood seems to be quickly pooling around his head. While he's laying there, he's bleeding. Like I said, these two people are trying to help him. You see one of them puts a towel or some kind of white cloth on his abdomen area. They're also checking for a pulse, checking to see if he's breathing, things of that nature. But unfortunately, Jason would be pronounced dead at the scene. Well, then Hash is seen talking to another of the responding officers. That initial officer that spoke with the first guy, he also went over to where Jason was, and he seemed to be also, checking on him, or at least like looking in on him. The second officer, or another officer that was there, was speaking or went to speak with Hash. During their interaction, he says that Jason ran across the road and he stopped to avoid hitting him. He also said that his wife and child were in the truck, and he did say that more than once. He also stated more than once that his windshield wiper was gone and that the man had attacked and broken his windshield. The Fayetteville Police Chief, Gina Hawkins, she spoke Sunday at a news conference. She stated there is no evidence whatsoever that Hash hit Jason with his vehicle. Now, the vehicle that Hash was driving, like we said, it's a red F-150. It's a truck, a pretty big truck, but it has a black box in it. Something like what airplanes have, where they can detect crashes, accidents, different things that may happen or go wrong, with the vehicle while being driven. And Ms. Hawkins stated that that black box did not show that there had been any impact with the person. Also, and I guess I'm not even sure if Jason has already had an autopsy because it's so recent, but I guess in the initial review of his body, there weren't found to be any tire tracks or like vehicle marks on his body. So they do not think at this time that he was actually struck by the car. She goes on to say that a windshield wiper was indeed ripped off of the car or taken off of the car. So the car did have one windshield wiper not attached to it, and that there were several spots on the windshield where it had been broken. And it appeared that the windshield had been broken in those spots by the windshield wiper that had been pulled off of the car. So with what they currently have found, or Ms. Hawkins said they currently have found, that will corroborate the story or the account of events that Hash has already given. Also, Ms. Hawkins stated that no shots went through the windshield. So whatever took place at the front of the car with Jason, Hash did not shoot through the windshield at him. So however many shots he did take were either through the window or through the open door. And though he did shoot several times, it didn't state how many times he shot or anything such as that, but she did note that he did not use his service weapon during this incident. She also didn't state how many times Jason was shot, where on the body he was shot, if he had any other injuries aside from the gunshot wounds. All she did state, of course, was that there wasn't any indication that he had been hit by a car, and that the weapon that was used by Hash was not his service weapon. Following the press conference, the community began to protest, and to my knowledge, they protested Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Today is Wednesday that I am shooting this video, and I assume that they will also be protesting and or marching today as well. But they did begin to gather and protest on Sunday. Many of the people that are marching for justice for Jason do dispute the accounts that Hash and the police department give. Elizabeth Ricks, who was protesting on Sunday, said that Jason was walking home when he was hit by the truck and then shot. And many others echoed those statements that Jason did not run and jump onto Hash's car, that instead he was hit and subsequently shot. The SBI, the State Bureau of Investigation from North Carolina, has been called in, and they are now currently investigating, along with the District Attorney's Office. Though a preliminary investigation has already concluded that Jason, quote, ran into traffic and jumped on a moving vehicle. The family of Jason Walker has retained Ben Crump as their lawyer. Crump states that this is a case of shoot first, ask questions later, which we see a lot of times in officer-involved shootings, where they kind of jump the gun and, react before knowing all of the information. And this is what Ben Crump, the counsel for Jason's family, states occurred in this situation. Ben Crump and the family are asking for a swift and transparent investigation from the North Carolina SBI in order to provide adequate justice to Jason and his family. Hash has also obtained counsel in Parish Doherty. who states that Hash is upset about the shooting. Quote, Lieutenant Hash is devastated for Mr. Walker's family, his own family, the greater community, and devastated by these events. Though that was the extent of what she said that she could speak about the case. Because, of course, it's still an ongoing investigation. It's not much that either side can say. The police, the investigators, even Hash himself, after his initial statement, it's not much that can be said because the investigation is still ongoing. But in my opinion, and again, I preface this by saying, in my opinion, this is speculation, not fact. This is just what I feel like occurred based off of all of the articles that I've read thus far. The incident happened right in front of Jason's house. So there's this street, and he was on the side of the street. He had to cross across to get to his house, which was right there across the street. I believe that he was walking to get home and maybe jogged, ran, what have you, across the street. And Hash hit him, or almost hit him. And of course, not in a way that greatly harmed him or anything. Maybe Hash didn't see him in enough time, and he hit him or almost hit him, and Jason got upset, and he got his revenge, or his frustration on Hash's truck. Which makes more sense to me than he just ran through traffic and jumped on the truck for what reason. As far as we know, there isn't any history of mental illness or, drug abuse or anything like that would cause that kind of behavior. So it makes more sense to me that he was hit or almost hit, got angry, and then began his tirade against the truck. And this caused a verbal altercation that caused them to be arguing face to face instead of them arguing through the truck. Maybe Hash stepped out of the truck and they were arguing face to face. And one thing led to the other, and shots were fired. To me, that's what makes the most sense, though we can't say for sure right now if that's exactly what happened. I'm very interested to see what Hash's wife has to say, though I'm sure that her story will closely match his. It's just interesting to have another viewpoint. Being that this was during the daytime in traffic, I want to see what other witnesses will come forward, what other people, actually saw that took place, because it just doesn't make sense, that somebody ran through traffic, jumped on the car, and you just shoot them several times. There's parts of the story that are missing so far, and I think that once we fill in those gaps, we'll get a better understanding of what exactly happened. I do think that Hash needs to have charges pressed on him in some capacity. I don't feel like the actions that he took matched the situation, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps he did, for his life. Like I said in the video, he kept saying, my wife and kid in the car, wife and kid are in the car, as if, his reasoning was in order to protect them, in order to protect his family. But it just always seems to me that in these type of situations, the first thing that they say is, oh, I fear for my life. This man didn't have a weapon. He didn't have anything on him that would have been deadly or would have caused, in my opinion, caused you to fear for your life. And if it was the case that, oh, you hit him or accidentally hit him, you could have just said, my bad, I'm sorry, and moved on. Things have to make sense. What would cause him to have a reaction where I'm going to jump on your car and bust your window? You hit me or almost hit me and then be like, hey, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You shouldn't have been in the street. That, you know what I'm saying? And some people, that's going to cause a reaction like, well, fuck you too. I'm jumping on your car. I'm going to break your windshield. My life don't matter to you. Your truck don't matter to me. And then reverse reaction. Now that I'm being attacked, it's like, hey, you're attacking my property. Now you're mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, the anger keeps building and building and building and building, and a gun comes out. Because, had Hash not been armed, nobody would have gotten killed here. Even if there had been some kind of physical altercation, just because emotions get high and people do dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I had a physical altercation. Nobody had to die over whatever this situation was. So either way, it's just, this man shouldn't be dead, period. I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about this one. Of course, I feel like, it's not right. Jason should still be here regardless. But I don't know if I can say like one of those racist, white cop killing black man situations. I think this is a merely situational situation because I think there's a lot of factors that went into play to how this played out. I mean, because as you know, with the climate of the world today, well, not even the world, with the climate of the country today, tensions are very, very high. I mean, race is always a big thing. And then with the pandemic and just different things are going on, people are very much always at edge. People interacting with each other has not been great. Y'all been seeing the Karen videos and the people freaking out in grocery stores and at gas stations and just interactions with other people have not been the best as of late. And I feel like that all of this tension and things just boiled over into a very bad situation. And I'm not saying that Hash is right. He still needs to be held accountable because even if it was just, oh, I got hot-headed and put my gun and shot because I have that ability, you still have to be held accountable. So I do think that charges are appropriate. I do think that jail time is appropriate. I think a wrongful death lawsuit is appropriate, and provision should be made for the family. And we'll just have to see how it goes from here. Living in North Carolina, I know that justice is few and far between. They're still fighting for justice for Andrew Brown down in Elizabeth City, where I'm from. They're still fighting for justice for a lot of people, and yeah. So we'll just see what happens. We'll see how it goes. Please like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think my theory sounds like it makes sense. Let me know if you have a different theory. Do you think that this was a shoot first, ask questions later type situation? Or do you think that this man genuinely feared for his life and was defending himself? Do you think there are pieces missing from the story, or that for some reason Jason just decided to run through traffic and jump on this man's car? But yeah, like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Be great. Be you. See you soon.